Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to enter in information in the DTR, which is a progress note, using the additional information. So there are several programs that have this additional information in there in a progress note. So let me jump right in and show you an example, and then we can go a little bit more in depth. So right now I am going to be going into training Way Beyond. This is a fake program, but this mimics Way Beyond. So we're going to use that as an example. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to go in and write a note. So we're going to go in under daily tracking record. That is one way to enter a note. A second way to enter a note is through progress note. Depending on which program you work in, it'll determine which way you enter in your notes. And your supervisor will be able to explain that further to you. So let's go in through the daily tracking record. I'm going to click on there. I'm going to pick an individual that I'm working with. And let's say I'm working with Betty. Oh, Betty doesn't have a goal, so I can't work with Betty. So let's do Duran Duran. Okay, Duran Duran has a goal. Okay, so we worked with him. His goal is Duran will complete 3 of 4 steps by following directions given to him 3 times a week. So let's say that I worked with him, and let's say he required supervision. So this is normal. This is a regular note. Okay, right now this is everything that you would write if it was just in a DTR note. There's no difference at this point. I'm going to go ahead and click on the rating scale to go to step 2. Here's step 2. Again, this is pretty redundant because you would have already seen this in another training, but this is going to show you how to get to the next step. Start time and end time is the beginning and end of the shift. So let's say the shift is 2 to 10. Duration's already configured for me. In person, service and length. Now here, the include button. This is where you're going to see additional information. So I have 2 forms turned on in this fake program. One is additional information form. That really speaks to our Way Center, our day program. And then we have our Way Beyond information form. Obviously, that is specifically for just the Way Beyond program. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. I'm going to hit continue. Now you'll notice that this form is now attached. I'm looking up top here to make sure that everything on top has been completed. I've written everything out. Nothing is blank. I'm satisfied. I can change the rating scale here if for some reason I realize, oh, it wasn't supervision, it was visual cues, or it was a reminder. I can change it here. If I change it here, it will change on the DTR. So let's get right into the form. Each form is going to be a little different. You're going to get the specific training on how to complete a form specific to your program from your program manager. I am just showing you how to access a form and then how to save what you've selected in the form. I'm not going to go over every single form possible. We have forms for residential. We have forms for respite. We have forms for Way Center. We have forms for Way Beyond. There are different forms for therapeutic support team. So as you can imagine, it would be very redundant to go over every single form, and forms can change here and there. A manager could request, or a supervisor could be requesting some edits or changes in a form, and rather than making multiple videos, I'm going to do this one video, and you can adapt the training to your form specifically for your program. Individual participation level, let's say the person was active. Individual appeared, check all that apply. So I'm going to go look at this list. Again, this list may not exactly look like the list that you have, but it is a list in the Way Beyond program. So I'm going to say the person was engaged and the person was happy. If I choose 2 different types, engaged and disengaged, happy, sad. In my note, I'm going to have to describe why there is 2 different forms here. That could be very confusing. Okay. Activities participated in. You're going to select what activities, according to your supervisor, will explain to you how to do that. For Way Beyond, I'm going to do wellness, and I'm going to do enrichment. Now, because I selected these two, in the skills learned, whatever I selected activities has to correlate with the skills learned. So these two columns have to work interchangeably. Okay, so I have wellness. Here is my wellness category. Because I selected wellness here, I need to be selecting what this person worked on specifically in wellness. So let's say they took a cooking class, and let's say they take holistic wellness class, a specific class for that. I also selected enrichment, so now I got to make sure that I select something from the enrichment category. Let's see, current events, maybe we talked about nutrition, cooking, and holistic. So, interactive discussion, because we talked about nutrition. And current groups, current events. Okay. Now the next thing is, was there progress? Yes, no. Again, these might be configured a little bit differently. Targeted next steps. Again, could be configured slightly different, not too much. I'm going to put continue strategy. In here, I need to enter in a note, specifically what the person did. So Duran will become employed. These are things he's worked on, his participation level. So Duran attended a cooking class and then went into the yoga studio to do some light stretching. The only reason why I say this, again, I'm not sure if this is, you're going to get how to enter in a note specifically from your supervisor. I'm just showing you how to write a note, but I did put here holistic wellness, so I'm assuming, perhaps it's yoga. So, I may also, if I had selected things here, happy, engaged, and disengaged, instead do that. At the beginning, the cooking class, Duran was not interested in participating and avoided eye contact while the class was in process. Duran appeared to become interested, started to interact with others, and was able to make the snack. So basically to make the snack, whatever the cooking class had scheduled for that day. Okay. So I kind of explained why I selected here, why that could be really confusing. I might even take out happy. You see engaged, disengaged. In here, you see how I've explained it. I'm not going to lock a note. If I lock a note, I will not be able to edit it. I will not be able to delete it. I will not be able to do anything with it. It actually says it here, lock progress note to prevent future edits or deletions. Okay, so if you lock a note, you won't be able to access it. And then you might ask, oh, why can't I access or edit any of my notes? It's probably because you locked it. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. When I hit save, here you go. I'm back here. Now, if you're working with multiple people and you're entering in a lot of goals and you can't remember if you did it, sometimes when we run reports, we see that there's been entries made in the DTR, but it's missing step 2 and 3. right? And it's not missing step 2 and 3 throughout the report, just sporadically. So I want you to do, if you feel like you're distracted, which you really need to be focusing and paying attention when you're entering this data, because this is going to speak to Medicaid. Having said that, if you are distracted at any point, if you cannot remember if you completed step 2 and step 3, if you cannot remember if you included the additional information form, what I want you to do, when you're at this page and you see the hyperlink, I want you to click it again, double check. If everything's completed, you'll see here the include, hit continue, and then I can double check my work. And I'm back here. Now, if I'm ever not sure and I completely go out of it, and I want to make sure that I've completed it, I'm going to go back, daily tracking record, Duran. You'll see here that the S is there. That's my S. I don't need to enter a new one. This is my S because it's open. If it's open, it means it was my note to begin with. If it was somebody else, you would not see this drop down. You would only see the S and the initials. But I caution everybody, do not write a second note. This is your rating scale. You're going to hit continue. Now you're back here to the hyperlink. I hope that was helpful. All right, thank you guys for watching. That's how you include the additional information in a progress note, either through DTR or progress note.